Hi there. Happy June. Well, it's not really happy on our farm because we're only half done seeding and it's been a bit of a struggle. But I was talking to some farmers in Alberta today, and if you're seeing this from Alberta, I wish I could send you some of the moisture from Manitoba. And no, I haven't turned my farm into a beach waterfront property yet. But the reason I'm holding this balloon beach ball is to talk about the power of perspective, which is what this week's insight is about. You can see the red, but what you can't see is what I'm looking at, which is the yellow. And that's the power of perspective. We're both looking at a beach ball, but we see different colors because we're looking at the same issue or the same thing from a different perspective. And this is one of the most crucial aspects of conflict resolution, whether it's a family relationship and dynamic or whether it's part of your transition plan. So the key points I'd like you to think about in this video are the Irish saying, every front door looks beautiful. And you never know what you're getting into until you get through the front door. So the power of perspective is to be able to identify the weaknesses in your own approach or your own position. And for instance, I might be always overly optimistic because I'm wired for positivity. So I always think that there's a solution. And other people, their perspective might be a little more negative, and they might think, well, you know, Elaine, I think you're being a little overly optimistic with what you're thinking about. The other thing I want you to think about is imagine how and why the person that you're dialoguing with got to their position and to their perspective. So one of the good phrases to use is, tell me more. Another thing you can say is, think about, you know, I don't really see things the same way you do, so are you actually afraid of something? Because a lot of founders that I work with are actually afraid of failure, and they're afraid of losing large amounts of farm assets. Imagine also, as you're looking at the other person's perspective, as you're imagining what they're seeing and what you're not seeing, is what are you trying to accomplish? Are you just trying to stir up trouble here, or are you actually trying to create some solutions? Imagine what the other person thinks that you're trying to accomplish, and what do you really think about what I want? Are you good with this, or tell me your perspective? So really what you're doing is you're actually having a bit of a play here and passing this ball of perspective back and forth. So as you read the blog and the insights this week, I'd like you to think about the power of perspective and what you can do. And here's one last tip I want to leave you with. Remember how old you are. Every decade has different meaning in terms of what the age and need tasks are for that decade. For instance, in your 20s, it's about having independence. In your 30s, it's about mastering success. And my son is 33, my daughter-in-law is 30, and they are really tired raising 3 children on a very busy seed farm. In your 40s, which is where the young farmers like to come to me for some communication coaching and transition planning, it's about having power and control over your destiny. And if you're listening to this and you're in your 40s and you still don't have a clear path for the transition of labor management and ownership on your farm, give us a call and come visit us at elainefraze.com or farmfamilycoach.com, and we'll set up a discovery call for your family to show you how we can help facilitate some of these tough conversations. In your 50s, it's about quality of life. In your 60s, where I am, it's about starting over and creating legacy and finding out what gives you purpose and meaning. And in your 70s, it's about mentorship. In your 80s and 90s, it's about being a wise elder and giving your blessing to the next generation. So whatever stage you're at, pay attention to the power of your perspective. And remember, you might all be looking at the same issue, but what you see is different. So explore and open yourself up to finding out what those other differences for other people. Talk to you soon. Have a good summer. Bye.